Hello, and welcome along to episode 4 of In the Darkness Lurks. We are late, but we are here, and that is what's important. When we left off last, some, God knows how long, indeterminate period of time ago, the group had continued their way through the Underdark. Somebody, I nearly said their name there, murdered. That would have been such a good moment. Let's pull myself back together right now and not say their name now that it's in my head. Somebody murdered brutally.
It was Octavian who killed the prince.
Somebody brutally murdered Prince Durendil. The thinking was that it was a stab to the neck, or at least that's what Sareth made it out to be, before he was shoved into the swift flowing waters that you were busy stepping across at the time. Cue the inquest. The group decided to inquest very heavily. We almost left Sareth behind. He was pretty pissed about that. But instead we have chosen to bind Topsy's arms together for no real reason, but to stop having to deal with Topsy. Because Topsy was like, you can bind me arms together as long as I don't have to do anything in a fight. And you guys are like, hey, yeah, whatever. But more importantly, you placed Sareth and Bupido, and Ront and Topsy in a sort of spaced out between your group. I believe Sareth walks between Sky and Zoroaster, as you guys attempt to keep your eye on all four of the potential candidates. It's easy to narrow these candidates down to only those four, as they were the only four people on the same side of the water as Prince Durendil when he was so brutally and savagely murdered. In other news, the wolves have eyes and flesh and are trying to touch you deeply in the darkness, but when it's light...
I don't remember the walls having eyes.
No, they didn't, but it was a reference to Silent Hill. Anyway, the wall is fleshy and pulsing and seems to get a lot closer when it's dark, but it doesn't like the torchlight and stayed away from the flames. And we found our way to the water, well, along to a better point in the water, where you guys hoped to make it to Dark Lake, which Josh kind of summarized in our kitchen quite nicely as the crossroads of the Underdark, which is fairly true, actually, in fact. From the Dark Lake, streams and paths lead out in many different directions. Bupido insists that you could go to Slubbeldop with him, and he could guide you there from the Dark Lake. Eldeth believes that the Dark Lake is where she was eventually led to from the deep underbowels of Gauntled Grim. Stool knows that the Underdark leads to his home, the Neverlight Grove, but doesn't really know any more than that, useful guy. Though the Myconids you stayed with suggested getting to the Dark Lake if you wished to find a way to take Stool home. And traversing the water to the Dark Lake has just become a whole lot easier, or almost. 15 foot across from you, across the rushing water, are two boats, tied up, bobbing in the darkness. And that's where we left off. So, today, I have playing with me, Darth Callisto.
And I shall be playing as Yum, the changeling bardess.
Oh, she's become a bardess, has she? Lucky her, she had an upgrade in the last week. I have Egan.
I mean, what's her alternate ego?
Yeah, I suppose. I'll give you that. I have Egan.
Hi, I play as Garrett Canrak, Orc Moon Druid.
I have Josh.
Hi, I'm Josh. I will be playing Sky Silveron, the Winter Eladrin Elf Aberrant Mind Sorcerer.
And I have James.
Hey, I play Octavian Oberlin, the half-elf rogue.
Eating food as a DM is a lot harder than eating as a player. Trying to eat a Kit Kat is a nightmare. Who I don't have playing with me today is Bruno. He will arrive at some point. He was hit by a gallivanting giraffe on the way home, and he's temporarily fractured 3 of his hairs from his head. However, he hopes to be home soon and back with us. Nevertheless...
I told you to contain Steve.
Ah, yes. Nevertheless, we resume in the Great Darkness. And it is indeed the Great Darkness for you guys right now, but you can see lit up by a few unusual, very tall fungi two boats bobbing across the rushing river. What are we doing? Ignore that. Sorry, wrong button. There's nothing breaking. Carry on as you are.
These boats, just from seeing them, are they reasonably big enough to fit all of us, or are we going to have to make some decisions?
You would assume... I'm really struggling to find what I'm looking for. You would assume that with the two boats, you would be able to fit everybody in quite easily. Okay. They're long boats, so they're designed for 8 rowers. You could probably row them with 3 or 4, maybe even 2, but they're sort of long, narrow boats.
How far away are they from us?
It's a 15-foot crossing.
This isn't still water. You said this was rushing water, correct?
Rushing very fast, yes.
Maybe we should test it first.
Sorry, Darth, I didn't hear what you said.
Oh, maybe we should test it first?
Test what?
You know, if the water is safe enough.
Be my guest, but I don't think it's going to be safe at this speed. What I'm seeing is correct.
Sarath looks at you and is sort of, go on, take a swim. Take a swim, I know you want to.
Oh, what an excellent suggestion. Please, step forth.
Kia takes a small lump of wood that looks like it's... he's been carrying along a few of these for some firewood, just in case. And he tosses into the water where it's swiftly dragged away down on the current. And he waits for a moment and looks down. Nothing in it. Or at least nothing that is ready to attack.
Could we... I don't know if this would be feasible, but if we still have rope... Yum, you have that crossbow. Could we maybe attach rope to a bolt and shoot it across and maybe pull one of the boats across? I don't know if that would be feasible. Actually, it probably wouldn't even get stuck well enough in the boat. We'd probably lose it in the water.
I mean, we'd need enough string to actually shoot across, and I've only got 3 foot.
You can solve this. You can work out way before that it doesn't matter if you reel the boat in if you don't untie it from the other side. Otherwise, it would have already gone off down the current, right?
Does anyone with magic prowess have a solution to this? Maybe Druid, could you turn into a rather big fish or something of the like?
No.
Oh, I was waiting for that word. Sorry, he needs level 5, I think.
Yeah, I think it is level 5.
I could freeze the water to travel across, but ice is ice. You could still fall in.
And I would say the rushing currents would destroy or take away any ice you form just as quickly. Ideally, we'd need to...
It depends how deep the river is, because it's only 5 foot cube. So if it's deeper than 5 foot, then yeah, it will just...
You would assume that the water is much deeper than 5 feet. However, obviously, if it's attached at first to your ice to the side that you're on, you'd have to test it, but you may be able to create it strong enough to hold.
Alright, well, I'll try and freeze some of the water, see how it does.
Okay. When at first you try and freeze the water sort of in the water, exactly as Yum predicted, the ice freezes into a block and then just whoop, off it goes down the current. If you then modify it to try and like spider it over the side that you're on, you will see that it's sort of pulling to the side, but it stays there long enough that you could walk across it briefly, right? So it's, if you imagine if you attached a wooden bridge only halfway across a river, right, it would sort of, it would be pulled back to its rootings, and then again it would swing like it's untethered, right?
Yeah, I get you. But if the current's pretty choppy, then even undoing one of the boats could just mean that the boat goes off in the direction of the current.
It's certainly
I'd
possible.
say our best bet is to try and find a way to slow down or stop the river flow.
Isn't that a monumental task? Wouldn't we have to dam the river to stop it?
Well, we do have an expert with us.
Do you? Who's the expert? I'm confused.
Sarah,
Sareth is no expert.
he knows
in
the
water.
rivers.
He knows that the water's rushing. He will sort of look at you, and I would assume it is easier to jump the distance than it is to turn the river back on itself, unless your magic is far stronger than you've been betting on thus far.
Well, I could, because I can like do shape water 2 times without having to like stop one of them. So if I do it for 10 foot across, we could all jump the little 5 foot gap.
Well, it's 15 foot across the river, so 10 feet would take you to the boat.
Yeah, I'll just do that. I'll make a nice little icy path.
Bear with me a second. Wait. You have... Oh, shape was a cantrip, James. Okay. Yeah, you freeze the first one, it's a little unstable. When you try to freeze the second one to it, it's moving a lot. You can hold it there with your magic, like by continuously freezing those two. But I would say that certainly you cannot cross while trying to do that. That's requiring a lot of your concentration. And anybody who did want to try and go across it into the boat is going to have to be pretty athletic about it.
Does it seem like there's any like orders of the like across on the boat?
Looking across on the boat, you can see an oar on either side of the boat, sort of 3 or 4 times along. You can also see 2 sort of wooden boxes, I guess, that are like stowing areas on the boat. You can't see what's in them, they're closed.
And the water is rushing, you said. How strong?
Strong enough that you wouldn't even be able to say goodbye before you were swept out of distance. It's fast, and it's deep. It's 15 foot across, and it's a rushing river. Most underground rivers, according to my research last week, most underground rivers flow a lot faster than overground rivers. I don't know why. Something to do with resistance, I think.
In the shaky ice bridge, does it reach the whole way across, or does it reach...
It reaches to about a foot away from the boat.
Oh, okay.
Octavian, as you look at it, you notice that it'll be difficult, but you could technically run across it and jump into the boat, as long as you had sturdy feet and were ready. As I say, it's quite lit, this area, because of the glowing mushrooms at either side of the river. But the river itself looks like a pit of endless darkness.
Did you say specifically someone would have to be athletic about it, or could they be maybe acrobatic about it?
So, let's just do a sort of very out-of-character rules check. Basically, as far as I'm concerned, you can always exchange athletics or acrobatics, except for the cases where you are using athletics or a feat of strength, such as to hold a rope steady while somebody else was trying to not to tumble away. And you can always use athletics to substitute for acrobatics, except for the situation where you are not moving in any direction, but only trying to land. For example, if you were falling from a cliff and you wanted to sort of land cautiously, that's an acrobatics only. So yes, I mean, when I say somebody's athletic, they'd have to be pretty much dexterous or deft. Obviously, you don't have to go yourselves. You could try and send somebody else. One of your little NPCs. I've kindly organized them into 2 folders of dead or missing and other. So you can now open the journal and see that, I mean, I wouldn't send Nemea or Vela. Nemea has no legs below the hips, and Vela is still unconscious. over Zoroaster's shoulder. But apart from that, you could send one of the others. Bear in mind, the heavier they are, the more likely they are to cause problems with the bridge. Go ahead.
I will instead frost fingers in a 15-foot cone that freezes non-magical liquids in the area. Boom.
Frost fingers. Keep your spell slot, Josh. You would know better than that. The problem with that is it's got no duration. So yes, you would freeze a section of water and then it would just rush off. It's got no duration. It's not gonna... It'll end pretty soon. Stick to your shape order. It's absolutely fine. But who do you want to send across? Rumt and Urgle are quite heavy, but oh bye.
Let's send the orc before he comes back.
Welcome back again. We can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry, that just randomly happened. I didn't even touch anything.
Yeah, Garrick got sent across the ice bridge. I'm sorry.
Yeah. No, do you want to send an NPC, basically? Obviously, Rumt and Urgle are quite heavy. Mebel and Stool are incredibly light, but not particularly swift of foot. Bupido and Topsy are fairly light and probably a little more swift of foot. And of course, Sarath is incredibly dexterous and sure on his feet.
You can see.
He can also see. Big plus point.
Seraph, how do you feel about making this jump? Is it something that you feel capable of?
Suddenly we're okay with me being helpful and useful and not being constantly watched. Yes, that's fine. And as long as
I stood in your defense when you were accused, if you
that you
remember
did.
correctly.
If Sky and Zoroaster will let him, Sarath will immediately attempt the crossing.
I'll let him possibly die, yeah.
Yeah, I thought you might. Okay. Yeah, that's... I've just looked at his acrobatics modifier. Yeah, he is like... Whoop, 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 whoop. He might as well be doing somersaults at this point. He dances neatly across the icy bridge and lands in the boat. Sort of looks over and... Now what? Oh. One moment. And then he goes to look in the wooden hatch to see what the boat has on offer. Because, looting is his thing. But he, in fact, momentarily later, sort of comes out and... I have rope! And he will take one end of the rope and he will toss it over at anybody who's willing to catch it.
Yum will get it.
Perhaps that might make your crossing easier. Whoever is next.
Could we not pull the boat over with him in it? Or would that...
You may well be able to, yeah. The question is whether it will pull him out the boat. But I suppose he will tie the other end, if you suggest this, over a couple of the benches, so as to secure it quite tightly. And he sort of... I'd rather not be in the boat when you pull it across. We might need the other boat too.
That would be a good idea.
And having tied it, he will step into the other boat. And then once he's untied that boat, you can... Garrett, give me a quick strength save. I'd assume it's Garrett. Maybe... No, it probably would have been Zoroaster. But anyway, Garrett, give it to me, because that sounds much fun. More fun.
Strength save... This one... 19.
Yeah, so the boat is actually quite heavy and it pulls pretty hard. Although a couple of you were braced, Garrett, obviously you were at the front, and it really took quite a lot for you to not be pulled into the water. But then you guys start feeding the rope, hand over hand along a line, and the boat is pulled to your side. Congratulations. There are lots of these sort of... I don't know what you call them when they're stalagmite-tights. They meet in the middle, ceiling to floor, right? So you could easily use one of those to tie the rope around to hold the boat in place while you guys board it. And Sareth will tell you that there is some more rope in the other hatch, and will toss it over towards you to repeat the exercise. You now have the boats tied up on your own side of the water, and although they're sort of bobbing around quite strongly because of the current, you can start investigating them. They are long enough to seat 8 people, one in front of another, sort of standard-sized humans, if you like, each with a set of oars if necessary, although only 4 sets of oars are supplied for each boat. They are long, narrow boats that look like they're pretty shallow. They're designed for shallow water as well as deep water. You would assume that these boats can get up to quite a pace on this water, but may be quite difficult to slow down or stop. They're designed for speed. Is anybody going to take more than a sort of cursory glance at, hey, it's a boat?
Sure.
Okay.
I'll look, I guess.
Octavian, go ahead and give me an investigation check and see what you can find.
Will do.
Garrick, you can give me a history check, but I'd say at disadvantage, because this is like some niche knowledge you're looking for.
11 for investigation.
Yeah, cool. As you move along, you find not only the same wooden hatch that Sareth has looked in, but you also find a little stowing area under the front bench. You find the same on both boats, and across both of these boats you find 4 50-foot hempen ropes. You find 2 lanterns, shuttered. So these are lanterns you can sort of turn on and off effectively. Obviously you still have to light them with a wick and oil, but they're there. They are present. And you also find a single sort of... It's more like a belt knife or a sort of cutting knife. It's a tool. You could stab somebody with it, but it would be an improvised weapon. It's not a weapon for fighting. It's a weapon for useful tasks. Carving, cutting, etc. There was a belt knife in each of the stashes, but Sareth has taken one of them.
Okay. A 6 with my disadvantage.
Yeah, these boats look like they were stashed here for a reason. They probably belong to someone, but as you inspect them, you're not sure who. Your knowledge of this area of the Underdark is almost non-existent, so... the other 2 things you find are 2 water skins, empty, and an oilskin bag. Now, this is almost invaluable in the Underdark. What an oilskin bag does, you won't find like an oilskin bag on D&D Beyond, but you can just add it as a pouch if you wish and custom note it. First of all, it's waterproof, so you could put something underwater or drop it in the water and it wouldn't spoil. This also keeps it from any other sort of toxins or other nastinesses in the Underdark. It's very, very durable. It'll also keep things mildly temperate, so if you want to carry something that is temperature dependent, it would be a good bag to keep it in. But it's a very durable bag.
How big is the oilskin bag? Like a rucksack?
No, I would say it's a sort of shopping bag-esque.
So if we came across anything that we couldn't walk on, we could chop it in half and use it as like put under our feet so that our feet don't get damaged by stuff.
Yeah, I guess, although that would render it unusable for anything else afterwards.
I'm just talking about my own survival.
Sure.
Is there anything in it in the moment?
No. It looks like it was rolled up. Looks like it's a spare of some sort. And a blanket in the other one. This is down a blanket, a woolen blanket. It's rough, it's a little dirty, a little scuffed in places, but it'll keep someone warm. Yeah. So that's what's in the boat. Now, I wonder, who is capable of rowing a boat? Octavian, ever been in a boat? Ever rowed a boat? What do you think?
Definitely not in his life.
Cool. Sky? Boat rower?
No. No. I don't think Sky really remembers much of the non-slave life.
Yep, that's fine. That's fine.
I think the only little he does is the Elven language. So yeah, he's never wrote it before.
Great. Yum?
May have possibly, but can't really see a reason why they would.
Yep, sounds about right. Garrick? Pink boat rowing?
Definitely not. Definitely not. I'm a forest guy. What is water to me?
Do any of you think you might be able to swim if you fall out?
Octavian would be able to swim.
Obviously,
But never-
not in like swift Underdark running currents, but you can
No.
keep yourself afloat.
He has been able to swim, but never really in a situation where life or death was a problem.
No,
He'd
just in
probably-
15-foot cubic tubs designed for washing and in lavishing oneself. Yes.
Yeah.
Can I assume that Yum's got probably the same experience of swimming?
Yeah, but all I'm gonna say is, you guys have never been to the market during rush hour. There is a lot of drunks out.
True. And Garrick, you're probably quite competent swimmer, right?
Probably, yeah.
Yeah.
I assume there's like lakes or whatever.
Yeah.
Of course, and I swim there sometimes.
Okay. So Zarasta and Garrick, though they are not competent at rowing, will not have disadvantage purely on basis of their strength. Actually, Garrick, you are quite strong in orc form, right?
Yeah, I have like 12
Yeah, cool.
points.
Okay, yeah, I thought so. So yeah, Garrick and Zarasta will not be a disadvantage purely because of their strength. Of your party, only 2 people claim to have rowed before. That is Topsy. Topsy has rowed, but little tiny skiffs. Topsy's a deep gnome. This is a big boat for a deep gnome. And Urgle, who professes to be very good rowing.
Wait, Urgle? Or am I
Yeah.
getting names up? Who went into the wall last week?
Urgle ran into a wall last week. He's an idiot, but he's very good rowing.
I thought isn't he dead?
No? Oh, yes, shit! Sorry!
He's dead.
He's dead as fuck. Well, he was the best at rowing, but he's dead as fuck.
Yeah,
he's not
okay,
in the,
Octavian
yeah,
had
he
that
got pulled
screaming
into the
freak
wall,
out.
didn't he? Sorry, yeah. I apologize. I left that out. My recap, I forgot. Well, in that case, you've got
Doesn't-
nobody with you who has ever rowed a boat before. That's good, isn't it? Apart from Topsy, whose arms cannot reach both oars simultaneously. This is going to be great. Love this for you guys. You can fit 8 on a boat. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 plus 5. There's 14 of you. Now, as a party, you have 2 choices. You can put the 5 of you on one boat with 2 other people and hope that you guys manage to stay alive and sort of if the NPCs vanish, well, fuck them. Or you can split yourself evenly across the 2 boats. Obviously, Sky and Zoroaster are going to stay together. That's a given. But apart from that, it's totally up to you guys how you want to do this.
You could put all the murder suspects on a boat and send them down.
Sareth will not be separated from Nemea. Though both Nemea and Velo, it's fair to say, don't necessarily take a spell on the boat because they're both completely incompetent and useless and lying down. What's the thinking?
I mean, I think in a not meta, but like realistically, we should all probably be in the same boat.
Love that. Love that. Big
And
fan.
put all the NPCs in another boat that can sink and die.
Okay. So at that point, you can fit 2 regular-sized NPCs or 1 regular and 2 small NPCs in your boat. And do you have any preferences?
Does the girl with no legs count as half an NPC?
Neither Vela nor Nemea count as an NPC at all. They don't take up any space whatsoever.
Well, I think we have to take Eldith, right?
He likes the dwarf. That's fair. I like the dwarf too.
Yeah.
The other question, of course, is when it comes to who do you want on your boat, you also have to consider, do you want somebody on the other boat you can trust to keep people in line, right? Because you may be putting them on board with a murderer.
Well, I think if we put everyone in the boat with the murderer, and then only the murderer is the left on the boat, we'll know who the murderer is.
Maybe, but if you put all 4 murder suspects on the boat, it might just stay just as muddy. Is there any absolute requirements? Is any of you sitting there going, I really want this NPC on our boat?
I'm thinking we should bring Sareth.
You want to bring Sareth on your boat?
He's coming with Nevaeh, so it might as well. Plus, he has dark vision.
He has dark vision, he knows the area, he's carrying the mayor, he is competent in a fight. If he's the murderer, you've saved the rest of the boat on the other boat. Yeah, I like it. Sareth, there's one. Okay.
Question.
Yeah.
Are we having this discussion, us four?
No, I'm letting you discuss it as players.
Okay.
Players. This is such a metagamey thing that I don't really want it to be a sort of, well, I want sort of thing. I know that Bruno's going to make a case for bringing Stool. Stool is Bruno's favourite person in the world. You can have Stool and Mebble together if you want. Which means you wouldn't be able to fit Eldith, but Eldith can be in charge of the other boat.
She doesn't have her light thing, so she could theoretically be okay in the boat, I guess, with the other guys. She has the magic mace and the light that she needs to see.
I would personally feel better if someone went with Eldith.
I'm going with Eldith if need be.
Sorry, A-Game, did you say you'd go with Eldith if need be?
If need be, yes.
Are we now considering splitting the party? Don't make me stab you.
If we have to split the party too, I could go. Octavian could go as well. Octavian, Garrick, Eldith. If needed.
Oh, Super's see here.
Well, Bruno's going to have an opinion. As soon as Bruno's camera is on, we will... let me just fix that. That's going to go there.
I just want to say I am also in the boat. Well, I'm also in the opinion that we should have Sareth with us, just for the fucking drama of it all.
Actually, wait, yeah. If we leave Zoroaster and Sky and Sareth on the same boat, that might also be a problem. Waiting to happen.
I think no matter how we do it, there's going to be a problem.
Right, that would be the split, I think. I don't think I've left anybody out. Bruno, are you able to turn your camera on? Because right now you're creating havoc. Alright, we'll take a minute. Hello. I think that is now. Are we in the right place? Yeah. Bruno's with us. He has recovered from his giraffe incident, of which he is not aware.
Quick recovery!
Yeah, you fractured 3 hairs in a fight with a gallivanting giraffe on the way home.
3? It was 3.5, sir, I swear.
Oh, yeah. Well, there you go then. Anyway, so we've decided on how we're splitting the boats. In the front boat, the lead boat. Oh, that's a question, actually. Which boat is the lead boat?
We can lead.
Okay, cool. In the lead boat, do any of you have the ability to make light? Sky, Zoroaster, and Yum.
I can make dancing lights, but I need the component.
What's the component?
Witchwood or a glowworm.
Yeah, I would say that you probably picked up a glowworm at some point in this time. You can cast dancing lights if you wish. It doesn't consume it, so you can just cast it every time. Yum, you said?
I could light torch.
I know you can all light a torch, right? But I just mean like in emergency, light immediately. Right, cool. So we're not sending 5, 6, 7 blind people at the front. But of course, you have put all 3 of the people that can see in the dark on the other boat. Well, that's not true. Sareth can see in the dark, and he's on your boat, isn't he? Okay, because Topsy, Bupido, and Sareth are the 3 people that can see in the dark, right? Okay, so that makes sense. So in the lead boat, we have Sky, Zorasta, Sareth, Yum, Medal, Stool, Nemea, and Vela. Nemea and Vela obviously unconscious, lying on the bottom of the boat, secured in with a bit of rope, and that is what Sareth has done with his rope. Guys, don't forget that you got some loot. It might be worth working out how you're going to split that up between you or something, somewhere, somehow. I'll put in the Discord as well, just so that you guys have the information.
I'll put the 4 dancing lights like on/around the boat, so that the other party can like see our boat in front of it. And they look like little snowflakes.
Question 2: with the stuff that was found on the boat, because Octavian did the investigation. If Octavian wants to make some choice with the loot, could I do
Absolutely, 100%. You can snip something into your pocket before telling everybody else.
Octavian will take the non-combat knife.
The belt knife,
and the oil skin. He's not going to take. He is going to offer it to Garrick first.
That's the perception 12. That's the perception 12.
No,
I think this is quite important for our survival.
Basically, what was happening, right, is while you guys were organising who was going on the boat, Octavian was going through the box of loot. So yeah, I'm absolutely fine with you taking the knife. Can I suggest that everybody other than Josh takes 50 foot of hempen rope? Mm-hmm. 2 reasons for this. First of all, Josh, you have the capability of doing things with ice in the water, and secondly, you are the weakest person when it comes to holding a rope, and thirdly, you hate loot anyway. So yeah, everybody else take 50 foot of hempen rope. Garrick, do you want the bag?
Sure, I'll take. Yeah.
Okay. Who cannot produce light? Octavian, Yum, and Zorasta. Between you 3, work out who wants the lantern. There's 2 lanterns.
Well,
I guess are we having one per boat? Because if it's one per boat, Octavian will take one.
Cool, that works. And then Zorasta or Yum the other.
Yeah.
You. So
There you go, Zorasta.
I can just snuff and light.
I agree. I should treat myself to this piece of loot. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Also, Darcy sensitivity struggling. And then 2 empty water skins is all you've got left to deal out.
I'd say give them to Sky, because more tip water out freeze it.
Yep. And indeed, Sky, you can fill them with river water right now. It won't be drinkable, but it will be freezable if you wish. Right, if you want to pour it out and freeze it.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Water.
What, Bruno?
No, I mean, I was speaking to Sky and say in character, like, I can take purified food and water.
Oh, I see. Sorry, I just said water. I was like, yeah, do that. Sounds great.
Where's the water?
Okay, so with that ahead, you guys all get in your boats and get ready to start trying to keep the boats from hitting the sides of the river. Zorasta, everybody else said they've never rowed a boat in their life. Can you remember anything before you were a slave?
I'm gonna roll a history check to see if I remember.
That's great. That's one way to
And then
do it.
I'll tell you. Okay, I got a crit 1. I remember dreaming of a boat that flew into the sky.
Great, you'll be just as useful as everybody else. So, with your athletics checks, and these are athletics checks, only because they're strength contested, Zorasta and Garag will roll straight. Everybody else will roll at disadvantage. Love this for you. Wait, we have to decide who's rowing first, Josh, before you roll. In the front boat, we have Sky, Zarasta, Yum, and Sarith. Oh, those are the only 4 people that can pull the oars, so those are the 4 people that are going to row. Okay, yeah, because Mebel and Stool can't hold 2 oars at the same time.
Yeah, I'll just sit in the driving seat because I assume that's what's going to happen at the end of the day.
Sarith is probably going to sit at the back, I think. Well, you might want to put the stronger people in the middle.
I don't want Sarah behind me. I'm just going to say that already because them are knives.
You said that Mebel and Stool can't hold 2 at once, but they could hold 1 each.
Have you ever seen 2 people try and row a boat, one with an oar each? It's completely useless. There are only 4 sets of oars. Zarasta, straight roll athletics, please.
Yes, thank you very much. I got a 19.
Nice. Yum with disadvantage.
I rolled a 19 and a 17.
Nice. That's good. 17. Sky with disadvantage.
I got a 11 and a 10.
Cool, a 10. Great. Sarah's got an 18. He also has rowed a boat before, but not anything like this. So he's pulled like a sort of single man boat before. So you guys are doing really, really well. You keep it central channeled. You're the lead boat. The boat picks up speed frighteningly fast. Within moments, you guys are sort of whipping down side, and you're also noticing that not everywhere is there a full amount of rock height, right? Can I assume that at the moment as well you're also rowing in the dark? Or Guy, would you have dancing lighted at the front of the boat?
Yeah.
Which? Light boat, yes, no.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, well, of course, apparently. What, one at the front, one at the back?
Yeah, and then 2 on the side, like I said.
Okay, cool, sorry, I missed that. Okay, so you guys can all see quite clearly that there's lots of, like, rocks overhanging from the ceiling. So you're having to keep quite ducked. Mebel is sort of standing somewhere near the front, going, come on, guys, yeah! Stool is...
I'm in Mebel, I love you, but...
Stool literally has, like, his hands over his eyes and is facing the floor and is looking absolutely terrified.
It's okay, Stu. Papa's got you.
Yeah, okay, let's go to the boat behind. Potential rowers are Runt, Eldeth, Bupido, Octavian, and Garrick. None of them have rowed before.
A few questions in terms of... Because they're the lead boat, right?
They are indeed.
So does light really matter for us? Because wouldn't we be getting kind of pulled in their direction if they're ahead of us?
Yeah, pretty much. It's fair to say that you guys probably tied the boats together, right? Boats together.
Yeah.
Just out of curiosity, whose rope is being used to that?
Octavian can give his.
Cool. Okay, so if the boats do get separated in the boat and the rope tears, it's your rope. Okay, that's all I need to know. So yeah, you guys don't need a light. You also have 2 people on your boat who can see in the dark. Topsy has their hands tied, but she's willing to sort of keep an eye out for you. And Bupido, of course, can see in the dark as well. Eldeth would like to sit at the front, if that is okay. Other than that, it's up to you guys. Are you both going to take the oars, or is one of you going to take a watching stance over your 3 potential murderers?
Do we have 5 potential rowers?
You've got 5 rowers and 4 sets of oars, yes.
Okay.
The 2 of you, Bupido, Runt, and Eldeth.
So I don't know any of the NPC stats, but Octavian does have a cool -1 to...
Runt is strong as hell. He is much stronger than Garrick. Runt is not only is he an orc, but he's also a warrior orc. He's used to fighting. He's got a great axe. He's huge. Eldeth is very strong, being a dwarf. Bupido is puny and pathetic, but can reach the oars, and Topsy is so small they can't reach the oars.
All right. So the question is Octavian or Bupido?
pretty much. But if you want to keep a watch out over the potential murderers, that's absolutely fine.
Your thoughts, Garrick? A game.
Well, Garrick is stronger than you, so it would make more sense if he prioritized the roar more than you did.
The question being, should Octavian watch the murders or should Octavian row instead of Bubido?
I mean, having Papato row would preoccupy his hands, presumably. So I think that might be a good option.
All right. I guess Octavian would be at the very back then, watching.
New way of preventing murder. Just occupy their hands. Love that for you. If they're all hanging from a cliff, they can't kill anyone. Yeah, great. So, Garrick, I will take a roll from you, please.
So I don't roll that. Let's see. Oh, look at that. That's a nat 1. 4.
That's
I'll back that one.
okay,
4
cool.
total.
For a 4 total. Well, lucky for you, Bubido got a 12. Eldeth got a nat 20. And Ron rolled an 18. Oh no, Ron didn't roll an 18. Ron rolled a 14, but they've all got modifiers as well. So you're doing absolutely fine. Yeah, you guys... You do keep the boat in line, but you realize that actually you don't have to do a huge amount of rowing, as the work's all being done in front. The two boats keep narrowly in line, and after only a minute or so, you hear a shout in Undercommon from the shore, a little way up ahead of you. Hey! That's our boat! That's our boat! And as you hear this, you see 4... what's his race? I've got to remember. What are they called? 4 Deros on the side of the shore. These are Bupido's race. As you know, Bupido's are... Bupido's? Yes. Deros, sorry. Are mostly a little bit mad. A little bit nuts. A little bit crazy. They throw a pebble at you, but you're swiftly out of view. At least you know whose boat you stole. Okay. Right, so progress throughout the day is pretty good. How are we doing for food? We're approaching lunchtime.
Do we have any food?
I
We
think
got
you've
some
got,
rations when we fled.
I think you've got 4 rations between you, if I'm right.
Well, there's that. No one really claimed the 20 ration soldiers kit, and there's also like the 3 just regular meat rations, I believe, that we moved down, but no one really kind of put it in their character sheet, so it was just kind of like in
The meat rations were eaten that night.
yeah, fair, makes sense.
Yeah, because they wouldn't have lasted. You've also got 14 people to feed, not just 5.
And did we have 4 soldier rations or 14? Or how many did I hear?
4, I think.
4? Okay.
That's what I had down. I don't know whether you had 8 and have consumed some. That's perfectly plausible, but I've got it down as 4 currently.
Okay.
So, we're going to plan on food. Have we got any thoughts?
Well, those rowing can't exactly eat now, can they? If we're still in the boat.
No, but you could. I mean, yes, you can. You could. You can temporarily put your oars in, eat some food while 3 people row, and vice versa. For the most part, you guys are just stopping the boats from hitting the sides. The current is taking you towards Dark Lake. So you're not having to put any sort of effort in. It's more a case of keeping the boat streamlined, because if you hit the sides at the pace these boats are going, you'll all be in the water and the boat will be ripped to pieces. Anybody got any solutions for food? Or is it a case of... Oh my god. Or is it a case of stopping the boats and having a look around?
Question 2. So, do we have to feed Vela and Nemea, or because they're unconscious?
I mean, you could just let them die. That's what I'd do.
All right. The stew
They are
eat
capable
food.
of eating. Every one of your party members eats food. Stall and Mebble combined to one person.
Okay. And how difficult would it be to stop and search for food?
So slowing the boats down is going to be a bit of a challenge, woof woof. But you would potentially, I mean, obviously at some point you're going to have to stop. So there's no logic to going, we won't stop because it's too difficult, because it's not going to get any easier in the future, right? Yeah, it's mostly a case of putting your oars in, holding still and holding steady, and then trying to work towards the edge of the water and potentially, trying to snag a rock or something with a rope. To slow the boats and stop the boats. There are stalactites, mites, things that meet in the middle. What do we call the ones that meet in the middle? Is there a name for that? Does anyone know? Who knows? Okay, there are those things that meet in the middle that you could potentially wrap a rope around, and grab it if you're really quite clever. It might take a few attempts, but yes, you can stop the boats. Oh, excuse me.
If this is a discussion, Octavian would elect to stop the boats to search for further food, if possible.
I think we should take a break from rowing too.
Okay. Please go ahead and place your characters just here. I have dynamic lighting on, right? Oh,
Yeah.
I've just realized your characters are... Sorry. There you go. Please.
Here before.
I'm just utilizing the map again. You're not back at the slave camp. Don't worry. But I'm not going to use my resources only once. That would be incredibly wasteful. I'm missing James.
My apologies. How do I pull up
Okay, so in your journal, you can see characters Octavian. You just grab his name and throw him at the board.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that'll do it. So, you guys find yourself pulled up to the side of a shore where there's not a huge amount to see here. The shore itself is a little way up from the water, perhaps a foot up, which allows you guys a nice easy step off the boat. But it also allows you to look down to the rushing water as it passes by. These strange spiral rocks on either side of the shore, I suppose not either side, you can't see the other shore, but on this side of the shore, stand about 1.5 feet tall, and indeed a couple of these is what you've got the boats currently tied to. As you look around, the wall is a slightly different texture now. It looks like water has been running down it at some point, causing lots of little tiny icicles to form and melt and form and melt, meaning that the wool is it almost looks like it's dripping downwards. That's pretty cool. As you look around, it is dark, but obviously, you can, brief bits of light, brief sporadic moments of light allow you to look up and down the side of the river, and you do see a tunnel leading off from the shore a little way down to the west. Just to point out the obvious, guys, there may be food in the water too.
Do we look like fishermen?
No, not at all, but it's something to potentially think about. I don't know what sort of skills you guys have.
Any fish?
Not on the dock, no. And the problem is even with a bright light, what you see is just a reflection of the light on the river.
Sky,
Yes.
could you please help me and see if there's any fish in the water by casting your dancing lights cantrip underneath the sea level?
Yeah, I can do that. It's not the sea level, but I can do that.
I don't know what I don't know what the sea is. I've never seen the sea. I've only heard tales of it. I assumed it was a large body
You
of
should think
water.
I do.
Is this a sea? Is this our sea?
It's not the seal of...
A sea?
Well, I hereby name you our sea. This is our sea.
For goodness
Hypothetical
sake.
question. Could you freeze the water to try and freeze a fish and catch it?
No, I can't freeze a cube if it's got something.
If it's
and
occupied.
If it's got a creature inside of it.
And not only that, but what you'd do is you'd package it up for Iceland, because you'd freeze the fish and then it would go flying off down the water to be collected
Not
by
the package for Iceland.
to be collected up and sold by Kerikatona. Anyway,
But-
that's
but
a
do
very
we see
English set of
any fish?
references. Sorry, guys.
Do we see any fish with the
When the
tentacles?
dancing lights comes on, you see some moving bodies deep down in the water, but what they are, you're not quite sure. Fish, not fish.
Do we see the prince?
No.
Can I grapple one of these bodies?
You want to try and grapple a creature that's under the water?
Yeah,
Lean
alright.
over and just sort of make me roll me an
Athletics for grapple?
unarmed strike to hit with disadvantage.
Oh, I was hoping you'd just let me athletics it out. But
You
the
might
result
need
is-
athletics to get it out, but you're going to need to hit it first.
The result is a 15.
A 15. Yeah, you grab onto something, and it appears fleshy. It also...
Oh, it's so moist, guys.
It's not moving with the current.
Oh, it's just so stiff. It's not
It's-
moving.
Yeah, and it's difficult to pull. It's tough.
Guys, it's fighting back.
Yeah.
Can I like grab hold of Zora's body and try and like?
Zora, give me an athletics check with advantage if Sky is holding your body to help you.
I mean, there's an easier way to do it.
Is there?
20!
Well, when you've succeeded in this strange method of fishing, do you know what you've caught? You've caught a reed.
What the fuck is this?
It's like a...
Does anyone know?
It's
Can
a
we eat
long,
this?
black, fleshy tuber of plant.
Can we eat this?
And we eat that.
I wouldn't. It looks disgusting. But
Okay,
maybe...
but so do you.
Does
And
anything
you
down
here.
here that's edible look delectable? I think everything that's down here that's edible might look disgusting.
Sareth sort of pointedly looks at Stool and says, I beg to differ.
Take your eyes, and you can see like Zarasta's hair start to fizzle in this like different color. Off that mushroom. Out with
Regardless.
you.
If you
Don't
wish,
use your fancy words with me. Regard the. No.
if you wish to eat the reed, you might want to wash it and cook it first. Who knows what else is in the river? The water itself is pretty bad for you, so obviously cooking it and cleaning it is going to be necessary.
I'll look at like the other guys and I'll be like, aren't you guys gonna get your dinner?
Can Octavian investigate around those rocks and such that were along the coast and see if there's any, like, I don't know, I don't think a crustacean would be around here, but have a look for something?
You're not going to find any crustaceans.
Yeah.
I'd give you that for free. But you do find a few grubs, creatures that appear to sort of make their living down here. Little fleshy worms, a couple of unusual beetles that scuttle around the rocks.
If possible, Octavian will collect as many of those as possible.
Great. You're bagging up beetles. He's fishing for reeds. Anybody else got a plan?
I mean, if people are okay with catching us stuff, I can start preparing the food we've already caught by washing, cleaning, and starting to cook it.
Okay, washing and cleaning it. How is that happening? What's the
Did someone
process
say
for that?
they had purify food and water?
He said he could take it when he hits level 6.
Don't be silly, It came from the ocean. It's already clean.
What did you say, Garrick?
I was gonna say I have create or destroy water. If that's what we're looking.
You have create water, okay. So he can create clean water for you. Wait, sorry, do you have... We had components for these. Did I give you those? I'm pretty sure I did somewhere long ago.
I think
I
the
that's
components were for anything
very-
that was for creating food.
Yeah, I think that was good. Because create or destroy water is just you need like a drop of water.
Yes, that was right. Yep, so as long as you've got some water, you can make more of it. So yeah, creating clean water, how, in what, for what, how what? How does this look, Yum?
Well, we can easily create them in the water skins, because then we've got a source of containment.
Okay, so you're going to create the water in the water skin, yeah.
Okay, then I'm going to pour the clean water over the food we've caught, give them a scrub down, do this several times over, washing my hands intermediately over them, until the careful eye inspects that they're good enough to
Okay.
to throw onto the fire.
I would say using that method, you probably use half a water skin for a single object. Right, that's
We can
probably at
create
2.5 liters. How much can you create in one casting, Garrick? And how many water skins do we have to hold it?
I can make up to 10 gallons of clean water into an open container.
That means...
Or I can make it fall like as rain in a 30-foot cube of sorts.
Bear with me a second while I convert gallons to liters. Okay, that's 45 liters. Great. Because don't do gallons. Okay, yeah, you can fill up 2 water skins, because that's the amount of empty water skins you currently have. But that'll cost a spell slot to do just that. Do
No,
you guys
we have more than 2.
Not 2 empty ones. You had...
Yeah, because I've used at least 1 when slipping that guy up before, and I think we've used 1 more since then.
That's
you
the
could fill
2
the
I've
oil
counted.
skin as well.
Do you want to empty out the 2 that you filled up with river water? Use those and then empty them again?
Yeah, sure, why not?
Okay, that's 4. What was the suggestion we just had, Octavian?
The oil skin.
The oil skin will hold 30 liters of water, and it'll hold it complete, so you can use it as a basin to clean within. It is completely watertight. So you could effectively have one person hold the bag open, and you could use that to clean all your stuff if you wished. Would that be more satisfactory, Yam?
I'd say that would be more suitable.
Great. So while Yam is cleaning, Eldeth will sort of look to you on. Just a thought. Do we need to light a fire to cook all this stuff?
I mean, we've got to prepare the food first before we start cooking any of it.
That's
So
just...
if you can get the fire going...
If the fire is going to attract somebody, I'd rather it did it before dinner. Just a personal thing. I don't like to be interrupted when I'm eating. And
Okay.
she will look to Sareth, who has 3 pieces of firewood. Anybody got a better plan, or is that what we're using? 3 pieces of firewood for a little bonfire that's going to last 20 minutes.
Could I just like keep recasting produce flame to have that cook something? It's like a duration of 10 minutes.
Oh, you have
Thing.
conjure, produce flame?
Yeah, produce
look
flame.
at that. What you'd really need, because I don't want to take away from the utility of the spell create bonfire. That's my only thinking. Because obviously in that particular moment, that would be what you'd want. Flickering flame appears in your hand.
Yeah, so it'd probably just be like a overhand thing. Maybe you have to put my hand.
I would say
below.
you can toast
Yeah.
the grubs on that, but there's no way you're cooking the reeds or anything bigger. There is a tunnel leading off of this area, if you guys wish to investigate and see if you can find anything better. Because right now you're a little short on stock.
Yeah, Garrick will investigate, see if there's any tracks nearby. Try to understand what kind of creatures might come around here.
Give me a survival check.
All right. Look at that. Second at 1. Oh boy.
Yeah, you sort of accidentally muddy the tracks yourself by walking through them. There's definitely a track of something here, but you're not entirely sure if you recognize what it is.
Yeah, I'll do the group that there might be something around here. Don't know what it is.
Okay. Are the group all willing to go up there? Prior to any other cleaning, I'm not going to let you guys be separated in this moment. So, you guys want to investigate the corridor?
I would be good.
Okay.
Octavian
And
would
is
go.
this a lit investigation or an unlit investigation?
Is Seraph with us? Could Seraph lead the way?
Yeah, gladly. Bear with me a second. As I take you to the cave.
No.
Okay. If you guys want to alight just here, please. Wait, have I taken you here? Yes, I have. Okay, bear with me a second. I will do that ping again in a second. It's just here. I'm missing Zoroaster. Zoom out.
Yeah, I can't see myself.
That's because you're not on the map.
Oh.
There you go. I'll do it. Okay.
I was disappeared.
Okay, cool. So, obviously, ooh, is this a lit mission or an unlit mission? That was the question.
It sounded like one of us wanted to bring Seraph or something.
Yep, so you're going to have Sarath lead the way, therefore you're all in the dark, yeah? Okay. So just here to your southwest is where you've left the boats on the shore. In fact, you know what? I'm just going to put a little light out there for you all. Just so you guys can see where the boat is. Yeah, and the corridor leads down to the southeast. So if you'd like to slowly progress, Sarath will lead the way. I think one of you should be able to see Sarath at this point. Yes?
Yeah.
What I will do is just let him give off a tiny bit of dim light. Just so you don't lose him. There you go. And he will... Oh, no, that's way more dim light than he's meant to be giving off. I typed 10 when I meant 1. Fantastic. He'll move down here. At this point, he sort of bends down to the ground and something slithers here. It is not small. Perhaps 3 or 4 feet across.
I
Recently?
wouldn't have it.
Sorry?
Recently?
I am no tracker. Though... there is a scent on it. It is light, but present. You wish to pursue it?
If it isn't too far, be best if we sneak around for it. Best to get surprised.
Okay. So you wish to... Sarasta, what are you doing?
Am I supposed to see anyone else?
You should be able to see the person in front of you. Yes?
I just refreshed. Yeah, no, it's all good now.
Can you also see Sarath?
I can see Sarath. Everyone else is just... It looks very faint. Like,
Yeah, you should only be seeing the very edge of people's tokens, except for Sarath, who is leading, so it's making life easier. Okay, so he says, very well. You wish to stalk it, like prey, is that what I'm hearing?
Mm-hmm.
Perhaps it would be better if you bumbling fools stay back. I will try and drive it your way. Perhaps you might want to create a light or something, I don't know. Just on a side note, Josh, do you have access to dancing lights?
I do.
Great, okay. So as and when you want to cast it, or if you want to cast it, go ahead and do that. Please don't cast it on Sarath. That is a nightmare for me to deal with. You're talking to no one?
I'll summon a glowing little snowflake right there.
Okay, great. Sarath will maneuver on up the corridor. And he disappears up to the northeast. At first he just tells you there is a thin river here. The water lies low. And then he calls out moments later. Oh, no, hold on, what have I done? Moments later with, I found it! I'm driving it your way! Get yourselves ready.
Alright. Should I roll stealth or something?
Mm-hmm.
And with that, I will ask you to roll initiative, please.
Should we make a stealth roll before initiative, or?
You're trying to be stealthy? I'm afraid that Sky has ruined that for you completely. And it is impossible. The creature is going to see the bright light that you're also bathed in.
How do I say it? What my thinking looking at the map was that the light is down the middle of the corridor, but these kind of little alcoves off to the side. If it was to rush through here, and then when its back was to us, we'd jump out from the alcoves.
Okay, you want to try and hide in the alcoves. Okay.
Yes,
Yeah.
that was my
yeah,
original.
go ahead and give me a stealth check.
Sure.
Garg, you're hiding too?
Yeah, I am as well.
Okay, Zoroaster? Okay.
Yeah, I'm hiding.
And Yam?
21.
You're not hiding if you're there. Yeah. Yam, are you hiding?
Yeah, I'll hide as well.
Cool. Great, yeah. You hear this sort of large rumbling sound down the corridor as you begin to proceed down the length of the corridor. Or you guys wait and it proceeds down the length of the corridor, that's what I was trying to say. It starts off quiet in the distance, but as it gets closer, you realize this creature is bigger than you guys. And you sort of hear this quiet, have at it, oh, come on, take it. But it's all being muttered in Undercommon, so you can only understand if you speak Undercommon. As Sareth appears to be prodding it, poking it. You're not really 100% sure. As it comes into view, Octavian, you're the first to spot it. A huge creature. It stands on about 14 legs, perhaps 18 legs. It is long and worm-like. I just sent a picture into chat for you all, into Roll20 chat. And it sort of has these tentacles leading out from its body. It scuttles on its many legs. And it turns the corner. At this moment, I will say, Octavian, you can see it beginning to come past with Sareth up behind it. Bear with me, my audio is so loud. There we go. With Sareth moving up behind it, it's your turn.
All right, Octavian will jump forward and strike it, both with short sword for action and then bonus action of the dagger attack, and then sneak attack on top of that.
Your first attack will be unseen, therefore it will be at advantage.
Excellent. I will do so. Advantage with the short sword. That is a 23.
Yep. Most definitely it.
Damage is 7 plus sneak attack damage is 6.
Nice.
So 12, and then attack with the dagger.
13. Good, yeah, go on.
14 to hit.
A 14 will hit. This creature has these sort of large plates on its back, and your dagger skitters along a plate and finds purchase between two of them.
Excellent. That is an extra 4 damage.
Cool, nice. Does that conclude your turn, Octavian?
Would it be possible? Because I couldn't disengage at this point, or is it engaged with Seraph and Octavian could disengage?
You can't disengage. It would take a bonus action.
Okay. Yeah, Octavian will end his turn now.
Okay. The crawler's tentacles sort of lash out sideways at you. It's a 23 to hit you.
That will hit.
Okay, you will take 6 poison damage, and I will ask for a Constitution saving throw, please.
Excellent. 6 damage and Constitution. Constitution is 18.
Okay, that is a fail.
An 18 is a fail?
As this sort of tentacle touches you, you just feel your body go completely stiff as a board and fall to the side. You are paralyzed and prone. The creature continues its mad rush along the corridor. Oh, for fuck's sake. Two back. There we go. Continues its mad rush along the corridor, and that is where it'll end its turn. Sareth will chase it viciously, and he's still sort of stabbing away at its back. So Rusty, you're up.
Is the light near me? Is the light near me that Sky is producing?
You should be able to see the light.
Yeah, it's right where the monster is, right?
Yeah.
So,
If you can see in the game, you can see as a character.
so obviously, like, I'll kind of usher around the monster, and I'll just try to cover the light with my hands for a second.
Okay.
How does the monster react to this?
It doesn't.
Is it still like mad and vicious?
Sort of. It's crawling down the corridor. It lashed out at Octavian because Octavian hit it, but it's going down the corridor. The only reason you want to fight it is because you're hungry.
And Sky is here, I believe. Last I saw him.
No. Sky is to your left somewhere.
Okay, well he's going towards Sky, so that's not gonna be fun. So I'm gonna immediately move here to. Can I stand here to block him? Would that be possible?
You won't be able to block this creature at all. It's way too big. It's headed in that direction.
Oh,
You're trying to kill it because you're hungry. It's not attacking you. You're hunting it. It's attacked you because you've attacked it. But in general, you're trying to kill it because you're hungry.
I kind of have my dinner, so I'm gonna hold my attack action, and I'll use my reaction if it attacks Sky.
Okay, that is very unhelpful to everybody else, but absolutely fine. Sky, dinner's serving itself. Would you like to assist it?
Yeah, it's not seeing me, right? So I can move away from it and it won't provoke opportunity attack.
But if it does,
You can give me a nature check with disadvantage.
That's a 10.
You've no idea.
Well, I guess I'll just.
You're what? You're what?
I will.
face down.
bu- 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 Oh, I know. I will dissonant whisper it. Wisdom save, please.
Okay. It's 9.
Perfect. So he will take 9 psychic damage and will have to use its reaction to move away from me.
It does so.
I would like to provoke an opportunity.
That does provoke an opportunity attack. What are you opportunity attacking with?
My quest.
Cool, that's fine. You've got a stick, you can hit it with a stick.
That's a 70.
A 7 will miss. You strike it, but it doesn't seem to notice.
It does give me an opportunity of attack as well.
It does give you opportunity attack, but you didn't use your own action to attack. Why using your reaction to attack?
Which is fine, because I can use my Divine Smite anyway.
Yeah, that's fine. You can attack if you want.
14.
14 will hit.
Oh, nice. Okay, so that's that damage with an additional. When you hit with a melee, you can spend one spell slot to deal extra d8 to the target. Yes, I will. 2d8, here we go. So that's 16 damage.
Cool. Nice. Second to your turn. Sky.
Yes.
Okay. Yum. You're up.
Okay, I'm going to move my token around so I'm behind. Going to move around so I'm behind this rock here. So then I've got a very clear shot to shoot with the crossbow.
Okay.
That's an 11.
That'll miss, I'm afraid. Your crossbow hits one of the armoured plates and just... Crossbow bolt hits one of the armoured plates and bounces off.
You just hear Young whisper to herself, "Damn it!"
Okay.
I am going to throw a bardic inspiration then towards... I'm going to throw it towards Octavian.
I don't do that.
Octavian, well, it will perhaps give you advantage on the next saving throw. Or inspiration on the next saving throw. Which might be important.
Actually, maybe it might be.
Yeah. Might be very important at this moment. Could be your next death save.
Yeah, and I might. That's kind of what I thought when you said saving throw. So.
Garrick! This creature's getting away.
Wounded does this thing look so far?
Wounded? What a wounded? I don't know. You can, from what you can make out of it, you don't even understand it, let alone know if it's hurt. It's a worm. Its ichor is pouring out in various places, but it doesn't seem to have slowed down much.
And does everyone else over here look like they're gonna join in, or are they just gonna watch and
Well, right now, they're sitting around a campfire, they're not really expecting anything, right? They didn't come with you, they have no idea this worm is gonna run straight past them. If you shout out, I mean, they probably heard the sounds of battle, you can assume that maybe Eldeth and Runt might, Nemea won't, if that helps.
Gary is gonna say out,
That worm is ours.
you'll then appropriately. Yeah, alright. Garrick is gonna go ahead and over here, like, wild shape into a giant spider.
Nice.
Yeah. And then, as he transforms to a wild spider, he'll use his action to shoot out a web at the worm. See if that hits.
That's what I like to see. Go ahead, roll your attack. You're unseen. You may roll with advantage. Just thought I'd mention it right now.
I'll roll that again then.
I'm really sorry, actually. Darth, can I also take a second attack roll from you? I suddenly realized you are also unseen.
Oh, okay.
So you were at advantage. A 14 will hit.
14. Nice.
Oh, 22.
Cool, yeah, give me the crossbow damage first, and then read me the web thing.
4 piercing.
Okay. Web will restrain it, is that correct?
Yes, it is restrained. It can use an action to make a DC 12 strength check, bursting the web on a success. But yeah, so otherwise it doesn't really take any damage. It's just now restrained.
Nice. Okay, Octavian, I need a Constitution saving throw, please. Actually, what is your con modifier?
Constitution is +1.
Okay, I'll take a con save, please, because you can actually succeed.
All right, Constitution saving throw.
Yep.
It's a 10.
Cool. Yeah, the creature action, you say? Strength save or strength check?
Yeah, it's a strength check.
Okay, 17, but it is already that it doesn't move any further. So it will break the web, but it doesn't go anywhere right now. We'll skip Zoroaster for now. Sky, you're up.
Okay, I will fire off a ray of frost.
Great. Love that for you.
That's
you're unseen, roll with advantage.
How about nat 20?
Lovely. Love that for you. Go ahead, give me damage.
Nice, 14.
It's not how we do thingies. 16.
Alright, 16.
Yeah, it's dangerous currency. How much does it reduce movement speed by?
By 10 foot.
Yeah, so as your ice sort of forms around its legs, it can barely move now. We've reduced its movement speed to 5 foot. Zoroaster, you're up.
I will use my bonus action to face step on top of its head
Okay.
and slam my greatsword down.
Do you have any of those left? You used 2 last session, no?
Oh, we haven't had a long rest.
You should have 1 left. You only used 1, right?
I don't know, but
Yeah,
we have
one.
not had a long rest since last session. Okay.
You get as many as a proficiency modifier bonus, so he should have 1
Yeah,
left.
so I
Okay,
have one.
cool. Yeah, go ahead. Step
And
away.
I'll go for 14 again.
Where are you face stepping to?
On top of his head.
I moment your character hasn't moved. Okay, so you're coming back to the side of it, yeah? You're not going to go in front of it, is my point. Okay, great. And what did you get to hit?
I rolled a 14.
Yeah, 14 will hit. Go ahead, give me some damage.
11.
Oh, okay. Nice. Does that conclude your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. Sareth charges up behind it and sort of with its rapier. The creature's dripping a lot of ichor. Yum, you're up. Also, just a heads up, Darth, we can't see you at all. Like,
You can't see the camera, or
we can see, like, there's a blurred image that may or may not contain a human. Just in case you're bothered, you're like, yeah, it's the light. I think it's the light behind you that just makes you invisible.
yeah, fair
Anyway,
enough. That's
here's your turn.
blurring. I sort of look towards the creature and say onto it, "I've seen slimier characters behind a bar stool." As I attack it with a vicious mockery.
It gets a 14 on its wisdom saving throw. It does not feel very mocked.
That's the DC.
Yeah. Sorry. Any bonus action or movement speed?
I'm going to stay put.
Cool. Garrick.
Actually, sorry, just a moment before we go on to Garrick. Octavian did have inspiration, right, on next saving throw?
On a saving throw of your choice in the next 10 minutes, or an attack roll, etc.
Oh, I thought it had to be the first.
No, that's Silvery Bob's. No,
Okay.
It's with Bardic Inspiration, you've got 10 minutes to use it on an attack roll, saving throw, or ability check. Garrick.
Alright, Garrick is gonna kind of creepy crawly like on the parts over here so he
Yep.
can get
can
onto
go
the
up the wall.
side. Yeah, as I get to the side of this thing. And then proceed to go to bite into it.
Okay. Go ahead.
That's a 13.
Yeah, you're struggling to get purchase on its heavily armored scales, but you do manage to to get through. 5 damage. Is that a roll for the poison damage, or is it just does the damage?
He has to make a con save, or
Okay.
else he'll take full if he fails, I think, or half.
Okay,
if
I've
he
just realized I
misses.
can save time with that one. He doesn't take poison damage, I'm afraid. So he seems unaffected by your toxins, but highly affected by your bite. And
That's my turn.
in your spidery senses, you know the creature appears hurt. Octavian, a con save, please.
Yeah. 3.
I don't think Bardic Inspiration is going to help you with that one.
Okay, sweet.
The crawler lashes out at Garrick. That's a 10 to hit.
Nope.
Nope. Okay, I don't know what the armor class of a giant spider is.
14.
Okay, well, 17 will hit you with the bite then. And you will take 6 piercing damage. Zoras, you're up. You'll do what with a who?
I will hit it again.
Yep.
Hit.
Mic's on your head. Or you're not using that mic.
No, I'm not using that mic.
Okay, you're just quiet for me. Cool. What did you get? 10 damage, nice.
For my exciting turn as a paladin.
That's sort of how all paladin turns work. Even when you smite. Sky!
Yes, I'm gonna fire out another ice beam.
Ray of Frost, you mean? Yeah?
Yeah, about the
Well, it's a cantrip that's a hit, is my point. Yeah. Go ahead.
That's a 16 to hit.
Yep.
That's 2 4 damage. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's really slow. It looks hurt. Yum. You're up.
Let's see how cold-blooded you really are from that of a vicious mockery.
An 8! Please tell me you just mocked my creature to death. Please go ahead and describe its grisly demise.
So that's 2 psychic damage. Is it still alive?
No, it's dead. It had 1 HP. Please describe its grisly demise.
Well, after saying, let's see how cold-blooded you really are after that, I just kind of see into its mind and attack it, making it freeze up and just... Oz just falls
I love
over,
it. Sort of
frozen.
slowly moving over into place, and Eldeth comes up and lights up a light, and I do love it when dinner delivers itself. It's going to be a hell of a task carving this bastard up, though.
Well, I hope you all like roast.
Where I'm
Gurren spider
from, we usually
form.
just say, "You're welcome."
Uh,
Thank you.
Garrick, what did you say?
Gary will just kind of, like it's a spider, get the whole thing ready up as he'll pick him up within his many little legs. Just as he
Love it.
starts dragging it forward to the camp.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you won't be able to move it. Just for reference, this creature is 22 feet long and 7 foot wide. So, yeah, there's no moving this. But you can cut it up and drag it in chunks. And indeed, Runt will come over and start putting his battle axe to work. In the meantime, Sareth tells you that just up north was a grove that looked like it was... maybe had some mushrooms in it. You might be able to use some of the dead ones to fuel the fire. And if you guys are willing, he will lead you up there, and it's only a short walk, and you get up there and you grab some mushrooms, and you're able to make a bit of a campfire. As it's nice and warm here, and you guys are getting to eat a meal, Eldeth suggests that perhaps this is a good place to take rest. Is it fair to say that in the hour of carving, Garrick will keep watch as Spider?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'll,
right.
I'll kind of lay sticky little spider traps if you let me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 100%. You can web off half the area once you've got this creature through, and once you start carving it, who's in charge of working out which bits of this are meat and not? Oh, one thing before that. After about 48 seconds, Octavian, your paralysis wears off, and you find yourself stiff as a board, lying in the darkness.
I forgot. Sorry, I forgot to do something.
Go
Before
on.
we take rest, I'm gonna go up to Octavian and I'm gonna give him my 10 points of lay on hands to neutralize or cure this condition. And I'll
Yeah, you can't change his condition at all, but you can heal him back up.
Yeah, I'll pick him up and I'll say, "Come on, buddy."
Yep. So 10 HP. You can only cure poison and disease. Is that correct?
I can neutralize the poison or cure disease. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Neither of those things is paralysis, so that's absolutely fine. And you guys are able to. No, not what I'm looking for. And you guys are able to settle down for some.
Grub.
Some carving. Who's in charge of deciding which of this creature is meat?
I am.
Yeah? Cool. Do you have any proficiency in cooking?
No proficiency.
Oh!
Okay, cool. Go ahead and give me a straight wisdom check.
Who's in charge? I am. Are you proficient? No.
No. Great. Love that for you. Yeah, you've got as far as, like, if you can get a fork through it, it's edible. That's about the extent of your knowledge. Nobody here has ever eaten carrion crawler. But scorched seems to be the best way of eating this meat. After a while, Eldith sort of prods a bit of it, and she's like, "Are you sure this is edible, love?"
Suggestion: we feed it to the supposed, the possible murderers, and wait a moment.
Zarasta's already eating. Probably like a thigh or something.
A thigh? It's a 17-foot-long worm. Which bit of it were you
leg.
expecting it to... A leg! Great, one of these tiny little maggoty legs. Did you look at the picture at all?
Tastes like chicken.
Let me
If I knew what
resend the
chicken tasted
picture.
like.
Just so
This
that
is what
we
I
can...
imagine chicken to taste like.
Just so we can clarify, this is the creature, okay, that you are eating.
Delicious. It's brown. It's edible. All British food is brown.
Okay.
It's all edible.
So yeah, Zarasta, you're going first, are you, with a bite? Yum has decided that it's edible, this bit in particular, and has put it over the fire and cooked it. Make a con save.
Delicious. 12.
You are poisoned for 24 hours.
I cure myself.
With what?
Lay on hands.
What lay on hands?
I'll go to sleep. Well, that's the thing. If the lay on hands wouldn't cure his paralysis,
You would have left him with 2 HP? Okay, that works.
Yeah.
Okay, cool,
So I'll
yeah.
just cure myself. So this is
5? Yep.
tastes like really bad.
Yeah, looking at your face and seeing what you've done, Eldeth sort of works out that perhaps it's not cooked enough. Or you guys are eating the wrong bits. Would anybody else like to try and assist with the cooking? Perhaps Garrig is no longer Spider.
Yeah, I was wondering if I could see that with my starving analyst. I suppose, see if that helps.
Yeah, 100%.
Alright.
Go ahead. And do I have a... Did I give you a... bear with me a second. Yeah, go ahead and just give me a survival check on that.
Can I roll at advantage because of my talent thing?
Yeah. I was just trying to work out what I wanted to roll, because I think this is a survival check for you. The music stopped. It did, right? I wasn't dreaming that. Wow, okay. A 3 for an 8. That's really great. You sort of move the bit aside that Yum was cooking, and like, I think that's the poison bit. And you guys just sort of move along the body and start cooking the next bit. Eldeth takes up Octavian's advice and hands the first piece to Bupido, who takes a bite and doesn't seem to die. So she hands another piece to Topsy, who looks like, honestly, Topsy could probably eat rocks and raw meat and be okay. But again, doesn't seem to die. And subsequently a piece to Ron, to sort of... This is disgusting. But he doesn't die. And then she hands a piece to Sareth. He sort of looks at it for a while and tentatively shoves it back in the fire for another 4 or 5 minutes. And then starts eating bits off it. It's a disgusting meal, but it's a meal, guys. Congratulations. You can all eat and sleep. Well, who's going to keep watch? Sareth will keep watch because he's got Reverie, so he does his thing. Do either of my Eladrins... Do either of my Eladrins use Reverie instead of sleep?
Yeah.
Okay.
One of us has Sentinel.
You can keep watch for a bit as well. That's fine. So I'll say you and Sareth are going to keep 4-hour watches across the night. As for the 2-hour watch, what's the watch order for the other 4 of you? Assuming that you're all going to watch at some point.
Are we doing it in teams of 2, or are we doing it one at a time?
So one at a time, plus either Sareth or Zorasta. Eldith and what's his name? Ront. Eldith and Ront will keep watch with the 2 people that watch with Sareth. Anyone want to go first?
I'll go first.
Okay. We'll go Sky, Octavian. Is that Garrett next? Yeah. This is going to be important in future. It's not important right now, but I'm just getting an idea of it. And then Yum with the last watch, which means that because Yum will often, if there is food to prepare, do breakfast, right? So that's great. That works out nicely. Cool. With that, you may all take a long rest. As through the night, almost nothing happens. Sky, give me a wisdom saving throw.
Is this to determine how much XP I get?
Oh, sorry. Yes, during the night there is some XP to give out. Thank you for reminding me. You did defeat a carrion crawler. Congratulations. And you have each earned 50 XP.
Are you a crackhead?
Fear not, little one. Regardless, each earned 50 XP. And Sky, your wisdom saving throw, please.
That's a 7.
7. Nice. You have dark dreams. They don't remind you of anything here. But you can't escape the feeling that something's trying to get out. You don't know what it is. You don't understand it. It doesn't really show itself in any way. It's just something in the darkness that you can't make out. It doesn't speak in a voice you understand. But in the morning, all you know is something's trying to get out. And it's not easy to keep it from doing so.
What, trying to get out of me, or trying to get out of the place where
The darkness that it's in. But whether that darkness is in you or elsewhere, you're not even sure. You don't understand. But you do understand that it's you that's responsible for stopping it getting out. As a creature in the darkness trying to get out, and you know that you are the thing that is to keep it in place.
Oh my god, emotional damage.
And I need a Constitution saving throw from Octavian.
Constitution?
Mm-hmm.
4.
4. When you wake up in the morning, you don't quite feel right. Something just uncomfortable. And as you sort of go to get up, you're itchy. Itchy all over. And you're sort of... And then as you're scratching your arm, you feel something peel away.
Can Octavian look at what peeled away?
It's just like your skin is peeling, like post-sunburn. But it's all over.
Octavian will make his way to Garrick as kind of quietly as he can. Mm-hmm. And if awake, if not, wake him up.
Yeah, he's awake.
Say, I don't know what's happening to me. I don't know if it's just being in this place or possibly the paralysis that had affected me the previous day from the horrible monster, but my skin is itchy beyond description, and it's falling off. Any remedy as someone who would know nature to deal with something like this? Or have you ever heard of it in your years as a slave?
Medicine check with advantage, Garrick.
If I'm so
Ooh, he's rolled above a 5. Yeah, so Garrick, you've never seen this directly from down here, but in the lands where you grew up, you have seen snake bites have this effect. Usually in your tribe, the custom was to wash really strongly, sort of scrub down wash. And the skin peeling is actually the remedy. The people's skin peels away to get rid of that sort of layer of infected skin, allowing them to sort of almost be healthy underneath. Basically, you'd need to bathe and scrub off the excess skin. Like a snake.
You must take a bath. That is what needs needed. To get rid of the excess poison. Your body's trying to get rid of it. Scrub yourself. At least it's better than attack. That's why I was worried when you woke me up. This is a concern as well, I suppose. If you need, I'll wash you.
That would be much appreciated. I don't know if the waters that we traveled in would be safe.
You could repeat the water in the oilskin bag.
I was thinking that
Come
even if just to fill it
bathtub.
and pour it over myself, that might be the...
Yep. Yeah, you can do so.
Tavian will do so.
After that, you feel a lot better, by the way.
Excellent. After that question, Octavian still has his family crest. If he were to try in some way try and sew it onto his Cloak of Elvenkind, would it in any way remove the effect of the cloak? No?
Not at all.
Okay. Octavian will then go and try and find Yum, and upon finding Yum will ask, I don't mean to presume anything, but it seems from our rather rough group that you might be one of the people that would have some knowledge on this, but would you know how to sew by chance, and if so, have any equipment to do so?
I don't have any equipment on me, but yeah, we repaired our outfits and uniforms all the time.
If I do find a sewing kit or something of that sort, I would be in great debt if you could sew this crest onto my cloak.
I think the halfling had a needle.
Oh. I just need some thread.
You could rifle our pockets for it.
Sorry, who by name had it?
That's Eldeth. Vela is the halfling.
Oh, okay, yeah. If Vella's out, I will go retrieve that needle.
As you do so, go ahead and have a look at her.
Perception? Or investigation?
Your choice. No medicine.
Or medicine? Okay.
Yeah, medicine's probably what I was looking for. I like the idea of a perception check. Are they dying? Can I see them properly?
Well, I don't know if their skin is peeling off like Octavian's might have been noticeable by the eye. But let's do medicine. Natural 2021.
Cool. Yeah. She looks like she's on the brink of death. She's pale as hell and she's sweating like a bitch.
Definitely no way of getting consciousness, right?
Not looking great.
Does Octavian know what deity Vela was a priest or priestess of?
Give me a religion check. I would say that is Octavian quite well read. I would say Octavian's quite well read. Right?
Octavian is extremely well read.
Yeah, give me a religion check with advantage.
Religion check with advantage? 20.
Yeah, bear with me,
2.
I'm Googling it.
Oh.
I'm afraid, because I don't know who the Forgotten Realm Halfling Pantheon God of Death is. I would imagine it's either Yondala or the other one. Cyrillalali.